let's say you're caught up in a murder investigation. I mean, you didn't commit murder, but you're caught up in the investigation. Do you think that you could run down to your local city or maybe your state, ask for some evidence from these flock cameras, the surveillance network that they're putting on every street corner and in every neighborhood? You think you could ask for that information that would help exonerate you? Turns out, you can't. Those cameras aren't there to protect you. They're there to prosecute you. And there's a whitelist. How convenient. So certain people won't be recorded in this mass surveillance network. I wonder how you get on that list. And I'm going to tell you the story where one man was caught up in a murder investigation and he went to a city and asked them for the information that would show that he had nothing to do with it, and they denied it, and then they sued him. All right, in order for you to catch up on kind of what's going on, if you're not, go watch this video over here. It's the first one that we did, and it's about what flock cameras are, how they're building the network, and what data exactly that you can get and what data they get on those cameras. Video number 2, right, is going to tell you a little bit about Jose Rodriguez and his fight here in Washington State, how multiple cities actually sued him and the courts actually sided with him. So I don't want to spoil that, but go watch that video next. Now this is different. This is from a little bit of a different perspective. This is about how these cameras, they're not going to be here to protect you when you need them. So Jose Rodriguez lives in Oregon, I believe, and worked in Walla Walla, Washington. That's in Southeast Washington State. And his name and plate got caught up, at least got mentioned in a murder investigation. Now, I'm not quite sure how he found that out, but he did. Now, he requested the public records from the city of Walla Walla, and he was denied that information. So again, he wants to know exactly what information they have on him so he can clear his name. Well, the city denies it. So he files dozens of public records requests with his name throughout Washington State, multiple cities, municipalities. And several of them, instead of providing him the information that he needs, they would rather not protect him or defend him. They want to protect that surveillance network. They banded together and they sued him to silence him and to stop him from requesting those public records. Now I want you to think about that for a moment. Instead of defending him or protecting him or just being neutral and wanting justice, they denied him access to the public information, to the cameras on every street corner. They denied him that information to exonerate himself, or at least show that he had nothing to do with that murder investigation. And they sued him. Luckily, 2 judges in Washington State actually sided with Rodriguez and said that no, this is public information. If it was obtained from the general public in public, then it is public record for the people. Now, those cities, they played games in the court, and they delayed until they'd passed the 30-day retention policy that they had, and then they deleted the data. And so Rodriguez didn't even get to see any of the information, even though he won in court. And ultimately, there was a settlement with another city, but in the end, Rodriguez won, but didn't get any of the information that he wanted. Quick update on the records requests that my attorneys and I made. We've received, I would say about half of them have come back, and some of them, they passed their initial records reporting timeline. So the attorneys are obviously aware of that. But we're going to give them a little bit more time, maybe a couple more days, and maybe we'll reach out and poke them one more time and just remind them that it is their duty, it's their obligation to return the information that we've requested. So, future video, we'll tell that whole story. All right, back to it. Now, the reason I tell this story about how these cameras are not here to protect you, they're here to prosecute you, is because on X, Flock Safety, the brand, is going overtime with their PR campaign right now. They are posting cute little story after cute little story how flock cameras helped a grandmother, as if those things weren't done before without this surveillance network. And I'm going to talk about this in a future video, but Flock got me demonetized on X. That's right, they came after me because of my content. And I'll tell that whole story in a future video. But for now, I want to thank you all for tuning in and letting me create the kind of content that I want to create. It's something I love to do. I enjoy researching and creating and finding stories that I think that you'll be interested in, because I would be interested in them. And because of the fact that Flock, we don't know how far their tentacles go and how and what they're willing to do to cancel content creators. I'd love to have you obviously be a member here on YouTube, but I'm creating a new resistance tier over on my Patreon. And if you'd like to continue to support the content that we're making here and to continue to tell these stories and maybe reduce some of that fear that someone like Flock can cancel us here on YouTube, I'd love to have you jump over and join that membership. All right, back to the video. So, the dozens of cute little stories that they tell about how their cameras helped you, that's irrelevant and it's unimportant, and it's a distraction from the fact that there will be millions of cameras in America on every street corner, in every neighborhood, and soon coming to school buses and garbage trucks and delivery vehicles, taking pictures and tracking every single person everywhere we go, just like that TV show Person of Interest that I mentioned earlier. Now, I mentioned Person of Interest in the third video that we did on Flock, so I'll put that right there. You should go watch that. But it's funny how sci-fi becomes reality, because Person of Interest was essentially a TV show that wasn't about so much the surveillance as it was to the twist. So yes, the future was that there would be so many cameras on everyone that everyone is essentially guilty of a crime. It doesn't matter who you are, at the bottom or the top, there are cameras seeing everything that you do. And the AI, it's putting it all together. It's connecting everywhere you go, everywhere crimes happen. It's figuring it all out. But the problem is there's not enough law enforcement. There's not enough courts to prosecute every crime. So the government has to begin choosing who gets prosecuted and who gets made whole. Certain percentage of crimes at the bottom, you have assaults, robberies, muggings, thefts. Those things the government's not really concerned about. They don't have time to deal with that. So there's only certain crimes that they're focusing on. And that was the real twist in Person of Interest. Now, back to the whitelist for a moment. On Flock's own website, they described the whitelist as something that homeowners associations can use, that residents can opt out and have their plates or their photos automatically deleted so they're not included in searches. Well, there's two problems with that. One is the fact that if there's an opt-out or a whitelist system that's already coded into Flock, well, do you think it's only for HOA people, just for residents of those homeowners associations, those neighborhoods? Or who else gets a whitelist? Problem number two with that, does that mean that if you live in a homeowners association neighborhood that you can just opt out? Well, what happens if you are a criminal? Does that mean the police just magically can't search for you inside of a HOA neighborhood? I don't think so. And so you can see that that's exactly where we're going with this story about Jose Rodriguez. He is literally caught up in investigation and he goes to the government. The government is there, and we believe that that government is there to help us. It's there to protect us, right? It's there to serve us. But in this instance, no. They actively worked against him to delay him, delete the data, sue him to shut him up and silence him. So the point of this video, and I'm going to hit this for the third time, these cameras are not here to protect you. They are here to prosecute you. They are tools that make the job of law enforcement easier, but we shouldn't have to give up our security, our privacy, and our safety for law enforcement to do their job easier. It's a job. It's hard for law enforcement, but they've been doing it and they need to continue doing it, or they just need to find a better alternative. But requiring that we give up our privacy, this concept of mass surveillance, the idea that they can just create a database and track every single place that every single person goes in America is not acceptable. Well, we're gonna see if we can do it. We are super busy here in the studio, but We're gonna see if we can't fit some more Twitch live streams and YouTube live streams back into the timeline. So if you wanna come hang out here in the studio and I don't know, we'll do some giveaways, we'll listen to some music, we'll talk about all this stuff. You'll find out it's a much different experience than the traditional live streams that maybe you've seen in the past. So I'll have links on the screen and of course in the description, but twitch.tv/loyalmoses, and of course here on YouTube when we do it. So anyway, love to see you there. There are a couple of bills by congressmen that are floating around, the idea that they want to ban flock federally, or even go as far as saying that if cities and states want to have flock, then they lose federal funding. I'll have links in the description to those proposals. And also, if you want me to keep covering flock content, let me know in the comments if this is something that interests you, or are you all flocked out? All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.